Hey everyone, it's Christian from The Gamer, and in this Arc Raiders video, we'll be going over all the items you need to complete the third expedition project. We'll be detailing the project step by step, as well as, more importantly, give you tips for farming the materials you need as fast as possible, so that you don't have to worry about it as you climb back toward that 3 million stash value. Finally, if you have any other tips, suggestions, or best practices that you feel I missed in this video, then please feel free to drop down a comment below. We'll be hearting each of those messages. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, a couple of general information items you need to know about the third Raider expedition. The departure window opens up on April 29th and closes on May 4th. So you have just shy of 2 months to complete each of the 5 necessary steps to wipe your character. If this is your third expedition, then successfully completing the project will give you a 15% XP boost, a 30% repair buff, and an 18% total increase for scrappy material. You'll also get 5 additional skill points for a total of 15 and 12 additional stash spaces for a total of 36 extra. Alright, so now let's talk expedition steps. Before we dive deep into every single material that you need on a step-by-step basis, I quickly want to give you the best strategy for doing as many of these steps as possible in as little raids as you have to. If you've seen any of our other guides, then I'm sure you're probably tired of me saying this, but I promise you, Stellamontes is absolutely broken for getting your expedition steps done insanely quick. I was able to get a majority of the expedition items that I needed in literally only one raid. I promise you, if you can successfully extract, then you'll be able to get a majority of these steps done in 2 to 4 successful raids simply by farming Stellamontes. I'll tell you how. Alright, for step 1 of the expedition, you'll need 150 metal parts, 100 chemicals, 80 arc alloy, and 15 steel spring. As far as the crafting materials go, I simply would not worry about going out of your way to farm this material. Leverage Scrappy here and passively claim those crafting materials while you farm for the other expedition material. If you're wanting to get arc alloy done as quick as possible, then in this case, I would suggest loading into an electromagnetic storm raid, specifically either Dam Battlegrounds or Spaceport. The reasoning is that electromagnetic storm map conditions spawn in significantly more arc probes and arc couriers. You'll occasionally even see arc probes grouped up either in pairs or in a group of 3. Simply breach and search these and you'll get a ton of arc material. You can get both a bunch of arc alloy by searching these probes and couriers or by recycling the rare arc material. And steel springs can easily be done with a Stellamontes run, which I will detail in step 2. Don't worry. Alright, speaking of step 2, you'll need 30 durable cloth, 25 wires, 20 electrical components, and 3 industrial chargers. If you do not want to go out of your way to loot medical POIs for those durable cloth, then this is a great time to leverage Scrappy by claiming your fabric material from him. Then simply head over to the refiner and turn that fabric into durable cloth. Here is where our Stellamontes farm is going to start. There are 3 areas which I would strongly recommend hitting in Stellamontes, ideally all in one run if you can. Those are assembly/assembly workshop, the offices above robotic sandbox, and loading bay. The reasoning is that many of the Exodus material that you find at assembly can be salvaged in raid into both wires and electrical components. Make sure to breach and search these server cabinets downstairs in assembly for wires and material that break down into electrical components. You'll also want to keep an eye out for batteries, Exodus modules, and broken guidance systems while you're here. You'll next want to head over into robotic sandbox. Here there are tons of computers, drawers, and breachable containers that contain an excess of batteries, wires, and electrical components. If you did not get enough in assembly, trust me, you will get the amount you need at this POI. Finally, the green drawers in the shipping containers of loading bay have a strong chance at spawning industrial chargers. In one raid, I was able to find the 3 that I needed. These drawers are also a great place to try and find steel springs or material that salvages into those 15 steel spring that you need. For step 3, you'll need 1 coffee pot, 35 batteries, 5 Firefly burners, and 1 Exodus module. As far as the coffee pot is concerned, trinket hotspots are going to be a great place to find this item. Now, I know people will say go to the Grandioso apartments in Buried City, and I'll say, sure, that's actually a great place to find the coffee pot. But for my money, I think I actually prefer Bluegate Village for this, for 2 reasons. 1, it's simply a less populated POI, and for me, there's always less instances of PvP happening in this area. The next is that there's a lot of condensed apartments to search at the Bluegate Village. For me, increasing the odds at finding the coffee pots a lot quicker than some of the cabinets in the Grandioso apartments. But that's just me. Again, as far as those batteries are concerned, keep farming the offices above Robotic Sandbox, as there are always a ton of them here. Firefly burners are a bit annoying, since hunting them down kind of sucks, in my opinion. I would avoid trying to aim for the propellers as they're pretty well armored. Instead, I would just simply bombard them with secret grenades and throw those Firefly burners into a safe pocket and not worry about it later. And again, Exodus modules can easily be found in the assembly and assembly workshops of Stellamontes. For step 4, you'll need 1 broken guidance system, 5 advanced electrical components, 3 breathtaking snow globes, and 2 bombardier cells. Thankfully, you only need the 1 broken guidance system, as this one can be pretty rare to find. It's an Exodus material, which means you'll have the highest odds of finding this in Stellamontes. Again, specifically, I've had more luck finding it in the assembly and assembly workshops of Stella, but it does feel like this one spawns significantly less in the loot pool of Exodus material. Just don't lose faith, I promise it's there. The 5 advanced electrical components can also be found lying around both in Robotic Sandbox and the upstairs of assembly, but you can always use the refiner if you have the Refiner 2 station available to craft them from regular electrical components. Breathtaking snow globes, 3 of them, gonna be a bit tricky to find. I see these significantly less often than I do Lance's mixtapes. For my money, I would boot into any 2x map condition and head back to the village on Bluegate. Specifically, I think Electromagnetic Storm, Hurricane, or Cold Snap might be a bit easier than Night Raid, as I find people are more likely to engage in PvP in Night Raids than they are in the map conditions where we're encouraged to loot. Then simply farm the village as normal, as the loot pool rarity of trinkets is significantly higher during these 2x map conditions. You could also head into Buried City and hunt down trinkets in the Grandioso apartments or the Santa Maria houses. But again, for my money, I just like the condensed nature of Bluegate Village a lot more than I do the sprawling Buried City. Again, that's just me. That's just me. And the safest way I like taking out bombardiers is by sneaking up behind one and planting a single deadline, which will cause it to immediately explode. There's usually about 3 or 4 bombardier cells that spawn from 1 downed bombardier, so make sure to stick at least 2 in your safe pocket before anyone else has a chance of sneaking up on you. And last, like the other expeditions, is to donate material. You'll need to donate 200,000 worth of combat items, 100,000 worth of survival items, 150,000 worth of provisions, and 300,000 worth of material. Don't forget that energy clip ammo can now be crafted at everyone's workstation. So if you have a bunch of advanced arc power cells and batteries, you can craft these to easily turn back in for those combat items. Trinkets, blueprints, and Great Mullen are great items to turn in, I think, for the provision donation, and any excess healing material you get from either seasonal raider projects or raider decks, I think are great to turn in for survival items. And last, for that 300,000 worth of materials, you guessed it, simply head back into Stellamontes and farm any and all Exodus material as they sell for high prices. A couple of loot runs in assembly should get you a bunch of rare and epic tier Exodus material that you can turn back in and donate to reach that 300k very quickly. My last tip is don't forget to leverage Celeste for any excess material that you might need to help you reach one of these expedition steps. Turn in your seeds for either batteries or steel springs or fabric, whatever, to help you trim the fat of having to go on a bunch of farming runs. Let me know if you have any other tips for completing the expedition as fast as possible. I'm sure there's something I missed, and if I did, I both apologize and encourage you to comment down below so that we can heart it and check out your new tag. Good luck topside, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.